Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Soony and I'm going to my 4th year of med school very soon. For the last 3 years of med school, we've mainly been learning the science behind the body and disease, and we haven't really had much patient contact. But from 4th year, which I start in a few months, we are based in hospitals and we do rotations, and that's kind of when I guess we really start clinical work. I've never ever watched any medical dramas. I know, shocking. I haven't watched Grey's Anatomy, Scrubs, The Good Doctor. I haven't seen any. So I thought I could watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy and maybe it can give me an idea of what to expect in 4th year. Maybe it won't, maybe it's just completely not how things are. I thought it'd be fun to watch it anyway. In theory, I should be able to understand some of the show, because on paper, we have learnt about a lot of the things that you might see in hospital, but I don't know, when it actually comes to applying knowledge, am I any good? I guess we'll find out when we watch the episode. I've heard a lot of good things about Grey's Anatomy. I've heard that it's one of the best medical dramas, and some people actually are inspired to become a doctor after watching Grey's Anatomy. Maybe after I watch this, I will actually just want to not be a doctor anymore. But let's hope that doesn't happen, because we've already 3 years in now and it's kind of a bit too late to turn back. Also, if you can't tell by my accent, I am in the UK and I know this is set in America, so there might be some differences between the hospital system or like whatever. I don't know how realistic this is, but I've heard that Grey's Anatomy is quite realistic, or that they try their best to replicate reality as much as a drama can. But let's start the episode and begin the reaction.
A month ago, you were in med school being taught by doctors.
That's me.
Today, you are the doctors. The 7 years you spend here as a surgical resident will be the best and worst of your life. 8 of you will switch to an easier specialty.
The Sandra, oh, she looks so young here. Before med school, I used to be very ambitious and I was like, I want to be like a neurosurgeon. But I think nowadays I realize the importance of just enjoying your life and having a good balance. So when the time comes and I have to pick my speciality, which will be in like a few years from now, like a long time, I'm going to pick the speciality which I feel like gives me the best chance at having a good, happy life. Does that make me a bad med student? Perhaps.
Only 6 women out of 20.
Yeah, I hear one of them's a model. Seriously, that's gonna help with the respect thing?
It's interesting actually that there was only 6 out of 20 females. I feel like if this were nowadays, at least in England anyway, there would be probably a few more females, I'd hope.
Your first shift starts now and lasts 48 hours. Your interns, grunts, nobody.
48 hours? That just has to be illegal. You can't work for that long. Even after like 24 hours, you would be so tired that you would start to make mistakes which could literally kill people.
Wait, what about me?
Honey, you get to do rectal exams.
$10 says he messes up the
He
McBurney.
says he cries.
I'll put 20 on a total meltdown.
50 says he pulls the whole thing off. That's one of us down there. The first one of us. Where's your loyalty?
Sis, like, literally, why are they being so nasty?
Okay, O'Malley, let's see what you can do.
Here it comes.
Appendix is out.
But be careful not to break them. You ripped the sea gum. You got a bleeder. You're filling with stool. What do you do now? Think. You start the suction, and you start digging for those purse strings before she bleeds to death. Bucky, give him a clamp.
BP's dropping. He's choking.
Come on, George.
Today, pull your balls out of your back pocket. Let's go. What are you waiting for, suction?
Getting too low, folks. Dr. Burke.
Get out of the way. Pansy-ass idiot. Get him out of here.
That was so horrible. Oh my god. I do understand that it's a TV show, so it has to be like entertaining. As part of a team, you should help each other. You shouldn't wait for this patient to slowly die just to prove a point. But I mean, now the intern is not going to learn what to do because he was just kicked out of the room. Like, stupid, right? Where does the learning come from if you're just removed from the room as soon as you make a mistake? Like, we learn from our mistakes. Irritating. I'm irritated.
Sure that's the right diagnosis?
Well, I don't know. I'm only an intern. Here's an idea. Why don't you go spend 4 years in med school and then let me know if it's the right diagnosis? She's short of breath. She's got fever. She's post-op. Start the antibiotics. God, I hate nurses.
He is so rude. I think this is kind of to show the arrogance of some doctors. I've definitely met people who are just so arrogant and think they know everything. So I can definitely see this type of thing, or this type of behavior where you think you're superior to like a nurse, for example. I can really see that happening. I really don't want to meet anyone like this. Actually, if I did, I would just report them. I'd snitch on them. I'm sorry, I'd snitch on you.
What do you want to do?
Dr. Gray, you need to tell us what you want to do.
Heart stop.
Call blue! Call blue! Charge. Clear. 10 seconds.
At 60 seconds, you're supposed to admit another
Charge
drug.
again! Charge again!
Anything? I see sinus rhythm.
Blood pressure's coming up.
All right. Pressure's returning. Rate's coming back.
What the hell happened?
She had a seizure, and her heart
stopped. You're supposed to be monitoring her. I checked on her and she... I got her. Just go.
So, I shouldn't worry?
I'm very good at what I do. It still is surgery. There are some risks. I'll see you in the OR this afternoon, Mr. Savage. Okay.
You're not gonna leave me here alone with that guy, are you?
Oh, I'll be outside the OR the whole time. No, Dr. Burkett is very good. Don't worry.
Aww. I really like him. There was a very big campaign in the UK, and it was to introduce yourself to patients and to say your name. Because there's this kind of tendency for doctors to not introduce themselves, to not really establish a proper relationship with a patient, and to just see them as like a diagnosis or like a disease or even like a bed number. So I like this character because he still has that human touch to him. He's not become like a machine that just lacks empathy.
Wow, that was quick.
His heart had too much damage to get him off bypass. I had to let him go. It happens, rarely, but it does happen. The worst part of the game.
I promised her that...
You what?
They have 4 little
I'm
girls.
not let you to promise anything. This is my case. Did you hear me promise? You never promise a patient's family a good outcome. You're important enough to make promises to Mrs. Savage. You get to be the one to tell her that she's a widow.
We tried to take him off bypass. But there wasn't anything we could have done.
What are you talking about?
Tony died. He's dead. Gloria, I'm so sorry.
Please. Go.
She's still short of breath. Did you get an ABG or a chest film?
Oh, yes, sir, I did.
And what did you see?
Oh, well, I had a lot of patients last night.
Name the common causes of post-op fever.
Yes.
From your head, not from a book. Don't look it up. Learn it. It should be in your head. Name the common causes of post-op fever. Can anybody name the common causes of post-op fever?
Wind, water, wound, walking, wonder drugs. The 5 W's.
It is so satisfying when an arrogant person gets shut down. That sounds really mean, but it's just true. It just shows him that he's not always right.
Do exactly as she says, then tell your resident that I want you off this case. I'd know you anywhere. You're the spitting image of your mother. Welcome to the game.
All right, everybody. It's a beautiful night to save lives. Let's have some fun.
I'm just wondering how Meredith is still awake. It is like been 40 hours. Don't think she's really slept, and she doesn't really seem that tired, so what's going on? How is she still awake? That's what I'd like to know.
Oh, and I changed my mind. I'm not gonna sell the house. I'm gonna keep it. It's home, you know?
Are you the doctor?
No. I'm not your doctor. But I am a doctor. It's me, Mom. Meredith.
She has dementia.
All right.
You were a doctor, Mom. You were a surgeon.
So we finished episode 1. I enjoyed that. It's a good show. I think there's like 15 seasons, so it would be really interesting to see how the characters change, and I assume it shows their progression like through the field. I was definitely a bit frustrated at times because when I become a doctor, obviously it's going to be tough in a lot of ways, but I don't want it to be tough because of my colleagues. I think for me, I'm just very big on, I know this is a really cheesy saying, but just treating other people the way you'd like to be treated. I really cringe saying that, but I think it's really true. I think if you're being nasty and rude and belittling people, you wouldn't want to be treated that way yourself, so what is the point of doing that to other people? And I think it is something which happens in the medical profession, because it was a lot of hostility, a lot of like nasty competitive stuff in that episode, and like I get it on one hand, because if there is that competitive nature, if there is that kind of message of being the best, it does push you to do better. But I think for me, as time goes on, I'm more interested in having a pleasant life. But thank you guys for watching, and if you did enjoy that reaction, just let me know if you want me to react to more episodes or different TV shows. And although I'm not a doctor yet, I think it's interesting to like reflect or think about what the future might be like, so I hope you enjoyed my perspectives. And I will see you next time. Bye guys!